So started the run. I think it started a wee bit later. It was meant to kick off at 8. I think it was 8:30 to 9:30. So 9:30 kicked off the run. And then this is where it was all right, to be fair, up until I reached the first official ultra endurance, or I don't know what you would call it, ultra run, which is a 50k.
The marker for an ultra is a 50, isn't it?
So once I hit that, like, wasn't it? I guess it was the first milestone. Like I remember hitting the marathon, but the marathon's like 42.
42.2.
And because it was 42, I was just like, I just kept running. I was like, right, cool. 50k in my head, I was like, change your clothes. Like that was the first pit stop. Like, new set of clothes, change your shoes. Like this is you've just got another one of the. You've got one more of these to do. Yeah. So at that point, I feel okay. Legs are starting to hurt a wee bit. Ankles are a wee bit sore, but.
To 50k, everything's going well, past the marathon, straight into the ultra, all going well, change your clothes.
That fucked me. I must be honest. I actually think that fucked me more. So I changed my shoes. I didn't need to change my shoes, but I thought I would. And I changed into my basketball shoes, which I've ran in them like during a couple of run outdoors in my High Rocks pit for 10k, and they were comfortable to run in. So I just thought they'll be comfortable with that. But by the end of it, the way, like, normally running shoes, they kind of lift up the middle there. The basketball shoes it's the other way. So I could feel that strain starting to happen. So that was in my head right as soon as I changed my shoes, and I'm like, I'll get the energy to change back. I was like, 'cause your feet are soaking. Like, the way I put that jelly, what'd you call it? Vaseline stuff, which actually worked well. I had no blisters by the end of it. I was surprised at that. So yeah, change clothes. Up until this point as well, it's still light. So, don't know, being in daylight.
So how long did it take you to get to the 50k?
I want to say I'm about 4:50 or 5 hours at this point.
Right.
So in terms of like,
so you're over 50k, you're 5 hours in. Maybe
it was about 6 hours with the 2 stops at the toilets and that, if you take them out, of running at this point. Because I didn't stop my watch the first time, but I stopped it the second time, because I was like, I just want to see time on my time moving. And I was like, oh no, I just want full challenge, the full time of the challenge.
Yep.
But I was like, I started at 8:30, I'll know what the full challenge is, because I'll be finished. So up till this point, like, something worth mentioning as well, I've not ran myself yet. I think I ran 2 laps right at the start, because Scott left, Jill had to take Cooper home, and that was it. But I was running with people up until well, really from then right through to midnight. So it's good. Like, I'm still able to hold conversations, but I could hear, like, this was when 50 to 60k, when I changed the clothes. That's when you turned up as well, wasn't it? And
so I'd been at a bike ride, came back, and I was like, right, let's get around and see
few laps, yeah. So we're talking, but then because there's other people there, other people start talking, and I can find myself, I'm like, right, thank fuck, I can just listen to them, just zone out, because the talking part, I'm like, I start to feel, like, this is getting real hard.
Yeah. What was it feeling like?
It's hard to
mentally
explain.
hard.
I think I was in my head because I know I'm behind on fuel, because I just tried to eat something. That was probably when I stopped. I tried to eat, and 40k I caught up. I was meant to eat on the hour, couldn't eat until like 35 minutes after I was supposed to. So I felt the impact of that for that wee 20-minute window, and then I got another second win. I was like, right, I can feel that energy. I was like, I can't let that happen again. Tried to eat again 20 minutes later, and I'm like, I've not got this. So I start slipping behind. So I've got it all portioned out. Hour 1, hour 2, hour 3. So I'm on hour 5 and hour 6, and I've only ate half the stuff that I was supposed to. And I'm like, right, change it up. I think that's when you brought me the gels as well. I was like, get the gels down you. And I'm like, oh, that's quite sweet. But I'm on my 6th one at this point, and I'm like, oh man, these are not sitting well. 50 to 60k felt like the longest hurdle. Because I couldn't eat. Again, it was because I couldn't eat, and I was starting panicking a wee bit.
I arrived the second time, I was like, how are you doing nutrition wise? And you're like, I can't eat. Everything feels like it's there.
It was in my throat.
I was like, oh, no.
It was in my throat.
I was like, oh man, this is going to be a slog.
Aye,
Because you
so
know what it's like with the fuel.
So like I think I was looking at the runs. I'm still running like a 650 kilometre at this point. But I'm in my head. So when everyone's talking, I'm like, I'm going to be sick. And I was like, no, like it'll settle. And I'm like, no, I need to walk. And I was like, but if you walk, then you're stretching out the challenge, and you're just going through all these back and forths in your head. And I'm like, what happens if you don't eat? And it's like, well, you're not going to finish your challenge. So it's like, you need to force yourself. And then you get this awkward, it's not a stitch, but it's like just the bloating in your stomach. Your stomach just doesn't, you don't feel normal.
You feel bagged up. You feel blocked up because nothing's moving.
It's like running when somebody's got a resistance band and they're pulling you back. That's what it feels like. You're like, oh man, it's like fighting against it. I think as that last bit of food kicked in, again, there's another second bit of wind, but I remember 65k being the hard bit. Couldn't really necessarily eat after 60 kilometres in. And when I was at 65, it was getting darker. So I think that's when I went to the car. That was the first time I went to the car. So 50 to 65, there was a couple of stops and trying to eat, and that was the first time I start walking a wee bit round the track.
Yeah.
And I try to run again, and I'm like, oh, man, I've got no fucking strength or power in these legs. And I'm like, fuck. And then I find a rhythm this is a slow rhythm. This is where it's like, right, is this what the next 45 kilometres are going to look like? And I'm getting a wee bit colder as well. Yeah, when I approached the 65k, I think that's when I was thinking, I was like...
Because it's hard, I mean, like, for people that need this sort of picture painted, you're 60 to 65 kilometres in, you're not able to get any fuel in. You can feel it kicking in. You can feel it starting to take effect.
Even the hydration part, like, it's like, I'm drinking it, but it's like...